We love horror movies from the 70s and 80s, and we watch them for 2 days straight, and then we go write a book. Now we're looking back at every title, one at a time, in this podcast that we put out monthly. Once we've had an episode for every movie, it's time to meet up for another Shock Marathon. Red light is red, which means we are recording Shock Marathons podcast. I am Matt Farley here with Tom Scalzo.
Hello.
Ava Scalzo.
Hi.
Charlie Roxburgh.
Greetings.
And I have a lot of clips. It was really hard not to just play the whole movie. I'm like, I can't, I'd be like, I got to mark this little section, but then it would keep going. It's like I have several 2-minute clips, and it's worth it. So let's get to work here. This movie, as far as I'm concerned, is entitled Curse of the Screaming Dead. However, it has multiple titles. Tom's got the original Curse of the Screaming Dead title. What else is it known as, Tom?
Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, they were just trying to cash in on the word cannibal in the title.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I like Screaming Dead too.
Me too.
Yeah. Although, I mean, there's more cannibalism than screaming, but I still.
And there's more Confederacy than screaming too. So
yeah, there's actually almost no screaming.
I don't like.
I'm fine with it.
I don't like it when they have either cannibals or Confederates in a movie title. So we got that. Anyway, let's get to
kind
work.
of an internalized screaming.
Just like one scene where there's some audible screaming from the dead.
Yeah. It's more moaning more often than not than screaming. But
yeah.
All right. So Charlie and I watched a copy that was possibly different from the original. You guys can tell us. On your version, does it start with a lot of zombies? No, says Tom.
No, I watched the YouTube the first 5 minutes just to see, and it is not the same as the tape.
And disappointing. That's like, it's so short-sighted. They're like, let's throw some zombies at the beginning, and all that does is bore us. Like the main attraction of the movie is the most boring part, Charlie.
and confuse us a little bit.
Yeah, like wait.
It's their actions that cause the zombies to rise.
Yes.
Right.
Just like The Pit. They're like, let's just take a scene from the middle of the movie, put it at the beginning with no explanation. Oh. All right, so
inexcusable.
I mean, the beginning of the movie though isn't like any less confusing.
But it's wonderfully
because of the zombies. But it's still confusing.
It's at least logical though.
I guess within its own movie logic, possibly. But there's still a lot of inexplicable behaviors.
True.
Yeah, but backwoods Maryland, it is just, par for the course.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
So my first question is, when the opening scene, it's the 3 guys in the van. We see them in the front of the van. Is the van supposed to be moving through any or all of that shot? I vote that it's supposed to be moving the whole time, but it does not look like it is. Tom?
So I know this was a point of contention, so I paid close attention. And in the tape that I have, which could possibly have been different from the one we screened originally, but they do show them pulling off the road onto the side and putting the van in park.
Okay.
They don't actually show them re-driving again, but I think we're supposed to assume that at some point they start driving again.
And then several minutes later, we cut to the back of the van where the girl is like, I think they've stopped. And it's like, what do you mean you think they've stopped? You don't know the difference between motion and stillness?
Pans would have been rattling. Like a back of an RV is not a svelte vehicle.
Ava.
So I didn't pay attention to that part of the person's putting it in park and pulling off again. So when the scene opens, I thought they were in some sort of weird garage or something, because there's like this weird wood paneling behind them in the interior. And eventually I figured out that was the cab of the RV. But at first I was like, why are they like sitting so close together with these beers? And like it didn't make any sense to me. And then when it flipped to the other side, and we see the girls, and there's also that weird wooden paneling, then I realized like, oh wait, like they're all supposed to be in this vehicle, but like it was not clear to me at all.
Yeah, but what
what
a testament to this film that the simplest of things, 3 guys in a vehicle, was not conveyed to us. Like, with so many different interpretations of such a simple concept. Oh my God!
It's the first of many instances that are needlessly confusing. And it's the simplest setup. Like the simplest small amount of characters, very small scene, and it's confusing, but part of the charm, because that wouldn't get through in a regular movie.
Now let's listen to the 3 of them in the van discussing. Let's just listen to it. It's good stuff.
Hey, I remember this hill. We're almost there.
Nah, we got another hour at least.
I know what I'm talking about. It's just over this next hill.
Hey, let me have a sip of that beer.
The cooler's right under your feet.
No, I don't want to hold it. I just want to sit.
Hey, when did you meet this Sarah chick?
3 weeks ago. Why?
Hear that? This code meets a woman, and wham! 3 weeks later, she's got him on the wagon.
Maybe he'll lose some weight.
Maybe he'll lose his virginity. Hey,
jerk?
Yeah, you jerk. Relax. We'll be at the spring soon, and you can slip out the driver's side before Sarah even catches a whiff.
You don't lie to each other.
All right. Wow. We don't lie to each other. He adds.
So good.
What manly hunter has ever not wanted a full beer, and 2 wanted to share with his buddy?
Yeah.
That's just that reinvented history or made history. And just general comments, so like over the top men talking kind of stuff. It's the first of many like broad cliche kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how about that rock music in the background too? Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that might be a local band from that area, you know.
We gotta track them down. Get
some of those guys were into music too, so.
Yeah. So I mean, that says it all. That's what we're dealing with here, and it's wonderful. So it's these 3 guys. Mel is the one who was poking fun at the other guy. Who's the other guy? I don't even know. Who are the other?
Wyatt?
Bill. Wyatt is the guy in the middle, and Bill was the one driving. Is that right? Or
Wyatt is the driver, I believe.
Okay, so Bill is the one who has a new girlfriend who doesn't like the drinking. I like the hunting even less than I like the drinking.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the hunting even less than I like the
I think we're gonna hear it soon too.
Yeah.
We're introduced to the fact that one of them has a tendency to swipe things. So there's some good writing there. That was something we brought up in a recent episode. They've established the fact that Mel has an attitude problem. He likes to steal things. He's got a ring on his finger that he can't explain where he got it. He says he just got it, and his friends are like, "Come on, Mel. I thought you were done with the stealing." So points to them for establishing something that comes through later on. I mean, Mel's a complex character, this guy, Mel. Wouldn't you say, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, he's really annoying, but at least the rest of them are pretty one note. You know, they're not really any efforts to develop their characters.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't stand
at
out.
least
Yeah, no
he
one
has
else stands
something,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. None of them have anything. He and Kiyomi, I guess the blonde girl too, just the way she presents things. Let's listen now in the back of the van to what's going on back there.
Hey, why'd we stop? Are we there? Isn't it just over this hill? Hey, you guys. They can't hear you. I can hear them. Bill and Mel are arguing.
What's it about this time?
All right, we should comment on that.
so many comments.
Suddenly, like, clearly there was an audio issue where they had to dub in that line, and they used the worst quality recording device ever, Charlie.
Yeah, it's like over a long distance phone from another room.
She's supposed to be right
so
next to her.
distracting.
And that happened several times. And God bless them for just going with it. They're like, well, what are we going to do? Do it better? No, we're just going to release it. Let's listen to more of this. Oh, this woman, this blonde, what's her name? Sarah? Is that her name?
Sarah.
Yeah.
The way she speaks is amazing.
I can't tell. Bill and Mel argue a lot, don't they?
Well, for as long as I've known them, they were in the Marines together. Mel really wanted to fight. Bill told me, I think it's another hour's ride.
Okay, so that was Kiyomi interrupting her sister, and that's to indicate that she's doesn't have any social graces. Is that what that was, Tom?
I think that's just a bad cut because they didn't have the lines done right.
All right, it could be that too. Let's hear it.
Everybody's so bad at estimating. Usually it's like, do we have another 10 minutes? How far away are they going where it's plus or minus an hour? But also with Sarah, just quick comment here. What did she expect from a hunting trip with these burly dudes? She's like, I don't like hunting or drinking. It's like, that's why they're going.
The exact reason for the trip. Let's hear more.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, dear. Bill and I never argue.
Uh-huh.
Really? Except I like this hunting business even less than I like the drinking.
So you do
Wild
argue.
animals are so sweet. I could never kill one.
I can't accept killing either. It's so pointless.
Right. Neither can I. Everything has a right to live, right?
That's the way I see it. Our parents brought us up that way.
Great. That's how I'm going to raise my kids.
Are you guys hot? I'm boiling. Let's get cooler.
What are you looking for, dear? I'll help you find it.
Sarah, I talked to you about that. Lynn, you packed my bikini, didn't you? I can't find it. Will you get it for me? No. I told you when Mom and Dad died that you'd have to start doing things for yourself.
Oh, right. That is some good stuff.
It is glacial, that pace. Oh my God, is that amazing. It makes me rethink what a movie can do with pacing. Can you make those comments last 3 minutes of screen time? All nothing. The pauses in between are so long. It's refreshing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. That's the thing, though. It's really I love this weird world so much more than anytime the zombies are on screen. Tom and Ava, I was just bored out of my mind.
Oh yeah, you just keep waiting for it to end so you can get back to the nonsense of the characters.
Yes.
Well, I was trying to block. I mean, later on, the sound effects get really gross.
Yeah, there's just endless minutes of chewing.
But it's much faster paced and more professional than Night of Horror, the one he made before this.
Yeah, I was telling Ava about it.
I really couldn't believe that he made 2 movies.
Good for him.
Yeah, he improved a lot for this one.
That says something.
So the ladies take off their shirts and pants to stay cool, and they're in their bikinis in the back of the van.
Well, wait, no, they're in their underwear first because they clearly changed because their bikinis are something different. When they walk out of the RV, they are in something different.
No explanation, though, right? No explanation?
No explanation. And really when they start undressing, like they kind of complain about the heat and then literally start taking their clothes off. It's like Tom was telling me that's how women act.
Yes.
Like, I guess I wasn't informed.
As far as I know.
As far as you know. It's kind of like they wanted a beach party or something. They knew they needed like shots of people in bikini, but they're in the Maryland woods. How do you pull it off? And this is how you do in a subtle, masterful way.
So Kiyomi's sister wants Kiyomi to learn to do things for herself. Kiyomi is blind, and because of that, she acts like a baby, it seems. And she's trying to get her to be more independent. But Sarah throws her her bikini top, much to the sister's chagrin. What's the sister's name?
Lynn.
All right. Now, okay, guys get out of the van. The 3 ladies come out in their bikinis magically. And chastise them. They chastise the guys for making a big deal about it, you know,
I have to say though, like my favorite part of this scene is actually like where they have sort of decided to emerge from the RV, because it doesn't look at all like a wooded area. It looks like someone's driveway.
Yes.
And front yard.
Let's listen to this scene.
Correct.
Here, put some clothes on. It's too hot. You can't go walking through the woods with your body bare. All right. Now, have you got everything in your pack? Did you leave anything in the camper when you got your bikini on?
I don't know. Go look for me.
No. If you don't remember, then you can just do without. Okay, I'm going in. You can walk with me when we're ready
I'll
to
walk
go.
with Mel.
Kiyomi's like a child. It's hilarious. Yes, Charlie.
Just quick point. This obviously is like a lot of politically incorrect stuff going on here, but the treatment of Kiyomi is like so dated. You know, it's what is this movie, like 1980 or something?
Yeah.
82.
1982.
But it feels like 1922 with
Yes.
their sensitive ways and so broad. But for us, we were kind of just taken aback by the whole thing. It's a very unsophisticated and broad approach.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like noteworthily so.
So then Kiyomi announces to Mel that she's thirsty, and then her sister hugs her head. Okay. Did that happen? I don't even remember that.
I don't know.
What am I talking about? All right, great news. I have more audio to share with you. This is one of the guys trying to help Sarah.
Here, it's heavy.
No way.
I was only helping.
Thanks, but no thanks. No one helped Mel on with his pack. Listen, you men are all brainwashed to think that women are weak.
Oh, God, you've been talking to your sister again. Every time you talk to her, you just come up with that live stuff.
And we could write quite a paper about like threatened male screenwriters of the early 80s, who write how much the lib comes up, huh, Charlie?
Yeah, it's very dated.
Yes.
I love that they call it the lib stuff, especially since like by 1982, when like this movie was released, a lot of that sort of women's lib stuff wasn't, like you wouldn't have really referred to it that way. It just seems like it's trapped in the 70s, like early 70s in some ways.
Yeah, well, that's
really bizarre.
The beauty of regional filmmaking, movements don't always get everywhere right away. Where they might have reached, media hubs, it's a little bit slower to get elsewhere. So this is living proof. The guys discuss which trail to take. They reference the fireworks, which are in Sarah's bag. She gets mad and says she doesn't want to carry extra weight. They mock her for backing down on all her lib stuff. So, hilarity.
Well, just a side note, like no hunter in the entire history of the universe has ever brought fireworks.
And you could tell they're like such a funny type of guys when they're like, hey, who remembered to bring the fireworks? It wasn't like anything out of the ordinary. It was just like, okay, water, food, fireworks. Oh, and then are you gonna get into the ammunition, Farley, too?
Yeah, we're gonna listen to one of the guys fire a gun near the unsuspecting Kiyomi.
Don't do that. I can't take loud noises. Tell me before you do that again.
Are you okay?
I hear bells.
It's just an echo in your head.
It's not in my head. It's coming from over there.
I don't hear anything.
She probably hears lots of things we don't. Blind people generally have better hearing than the rest of us.
Don't talk about me like I wasn't here.
Sorry.
Insincere because it was such bad quality.
So, what a cast of characters. It's really just Kiyomi and Sarah. The two of them are just being unbelievable. And
why? Oh, sorry, Farley.
No, you go.
Why fire the gun near her ears? I mean, if she's supposed to have super hearing, then all you would have to do is have them be walking, and she would say, "I hear bells," and then everyone else would say, "I don't hear anything."
Well, I would say at
to
least
show that Mel's
Mel's an idiot. That's the only thing to give it any credit.
And you didn't pull this thing about the ammunition, but there is a whole conversation with Mel talking about the exploding bullets.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that happened a little bit before then.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. Tell me more.
So he has these exploding bullets, and then is it Wyatt or it's the boyfriend guy? He is like
Bill.
He's like, why would you use that if you're hunting? You're just gonna destroy your deer. Like it's a whole it's actually a very logical argument because absolutely you don't want an exploding bullet when you're hunting because you're going to destroy your prey.
Yeah. Right.
So they have this whole discussion and then they talk about how the exploding bullets are also illegal and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah. And this is Mel again who's doing this?
Yeah, Mel's the one who has the
bad
exploding
news,
bullets.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he's trouble.
Real trouble.
I don't know a lot about bullets, but I think it's completely crazy, sort of, that he would have these things and that they would actually do what he says in like a normal gun. Right. It's ridiculous. I think they just wanted to, as we'll see later, I won't give it away, but the certain effect that they have, the way that it looks. I think they just wanted that. They probably knew it was going to be dark as heck, and how are we going to show something? Have this ham-fisted was in my notes a lot. Discussion about exploding bullets so that later we could see some light somewhere. But I loved it. It gives us a treat that I would have never expected,
You can give it away. The zombie heads explode. I missed that exploding bullet talk, and I just thought they exploded naturally, and it didn't question. I mean, they're zombies. If zombies can exist, then sure, their heads can explode too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
One of the guys, and I'm sorry, I don't know the difference between Bill and whatever his name is. They're just the other two guys.
Wyatt
and Bill.
Wyatt.
They are the same. They look very different, but they're the same person to me. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, there was I don't know, the other one who's not Mel and Mel look alike. And then there was the blonde one who was the boyfriend, like that, and that was sort of how I remembered them.
So as I'm reading this, I realize it's Mel. Mel goes to check out the bells, I guess. Right. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Is that necessary? Like, Kiyomi hears bells. Oh, let's continue hiking and hunting. Like, why does Mel have to separate from the crew, Charlie?
Yeah. Why not go all together? You're not busy. You're not doing anything. You're there to walk around.
Or just like, oh, you heard
or
a bell.
Don't go.
Like,
go or don't.
I get, like, Mel, whatever. I guess they felt the need to explain why Mel goes there alone. So anyway, we watch him hike for a while. That theme music plays.
And plays. Sorry.
It's driving. It's like this driving music, but like it's not actually driving anywhere, though. Like where are you taking us? Music. So then he steals an artifact from the old cemetery. It's an old-time bullet. There's another horrible audio insert of him talking to himself about the bullet just to spell it out. He's like, it's an old bullet.
I love it. You would get in trouble if you made a middle school movie, maybe, high school movie, and did that. The teacher would be like, wait, do you really need that? You do an insert there? Like, aren't you playing down to your audience yet? You know what I mean? But amazing.
There were several inserted audio. I mean, it was so clear where things had been overdubbed, and it was just terrible. Like, it was just not well done at all.
Yeah, it was like done with a toy tape recorder. Like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I love and it got through, and it got major VHS release.
That's great.
Meanwhile, the rest of the group is waiting. Kiyomi hears more bells and starts crying. She senses that Mel's in trouble and then runs in that direction and falls. But Mel, turns out, has returned safely right then. She hugs him tightly. It's like the relationship. He doesn't even really like her, and she just desperately clings to him. Mel claims he didn't hear any bells. All the others have heard them by now. They sounded like a funeral, Sarah says. Mel continues to insist he didn't hear it. He wants them to check out the graveyard. And they're like mad at him for not having heard the bells. But I think he really didn't, right, Charlie?
I don't know. I was going to ask you guys. What would he have to lie about? Why would he lie there?
I don't think he's lying. But it doesn't make any sense.
He was the one closest to it of everyone. He would have clung like right in his head. He was right near the ruins of the old church.
It's unnecessary and meaningless, Ava.
I wondered if, so when I was listening to the bells, when suddenly all of the rest of the group can hear the bells, was there also battle sounds? So that wasn't just me that heard them, because I was a little confused because I could hear the bells and then the battle sounds, but then they sort of, Kiyomi, I think, is the only one who sort of alludes to the fact that there's these other horrible noises.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like, if we're hearing only what Kiyomi's hearing and the other characters are not hearing the exact same thing, it was extremely poorly conveyed, right?
Yeah.
Wait. One of my alternate titles of this movie.
Yes.
Inadvertent contradictions. It would be bad for business, but
accurate.
It's so accurate. Yeah, and there's a great line, I think, what Ava was talking about, where Kiyomi says, "I heard the other sounds that the others heard," something like that, where there's so few words and they use others as two of them, and it's completely confusing.
Yeah. Well,
in addition to the sounds that you're hearing are really confusing. I'm not sure why if zombies arise, there's like a whole other supernatural, mystical element that's not just normal zombies.
Well,
going
look,
on.
they had trouble conveying that 3 guys were in a van that was either parked or moving. So naturally, they're going to have more trouble conveying this supernatural situation. All right, so then Mel says, let's go check out this graveyard. They get there and discuss how no one has probably been there since the Civil War, which seems very unlikely to me. And these, almost well-preserved grounds, it was not overgrown and seemingly a very short walk from the road, right, Tom?
It's quite a leap. And I think one of the gravestones had graffiti on it, but it was really quick. But yeah, that's quite an assumption. Like nothing has ever been touched in 200 years.
Let's listen to the theory that perhaps it was Mel who rang those bells.
You're right, man. This place is at least 100 years old.
There sure are a lot of names on this one.
What a lovely old church.
Church? Hey, church bells. Mel, you clown.
What are you whining about?
You were right, honey. Mel, you idiot, leading us on, scaring Kiyomi like that.
You goofy bozo. I knew it all along.
Oh, you goofy bozo. I knew it all along. What a great line. There's more.
Bringing the church bells and scaring the women. Even had Wyatt going.
You're the bozo. There's no bell in that church. I looked. Ask Wyatt.
I don't like this place.
Huh. Wyatt's probably on this too. I'll check it out for myself, thanks.
I just love hanging out with these people, don't you?
And how would they explain the bells that she heard before he got to the church?
Yeah.
I love when Sarah's like, church bells, like she's playing some like solving a riddle, Tom.
Oh yeah, or it's like
in rhymes. She's like Mel, church, bell. Like it's like because bells and Mel rhyme. It's that's the logical answer.
It's like a Jessica Fletcher moment on Murder, She Wrote, where right before the last, wrapping up the crime, she always thinks things out like that, speaks them out.
But Ava, don't you just love these people? Not that you love them, but don't you just love watching them?
I mean, I think that they definitely it becomes entertaining. Like the inanity of their discussions. It's fascinating. Like it's actually fascinating that they spend so much time on this inane bickering, right?
Yes.
And none of it is moving the plot forward. Like, clearly they didn't have enough, like, actual action so they fill the movie up with like these scenes of them just standing around bickering and like, and what's absolutely fascinating is like they get to the end of whatever argument they have and like they don't come to a conclusion, right? Like,
no,
just to be continued. Yeah, it's just a constant argument, and I usually don't like it when it gets too negative, but somehow these characters are so not unrealistic that you don't feel like so negative about it. Or you know what I mean, Charlie?
Yeah, and it's a no budget trend, I think, when people aren't really used to acting a lot, that they think, okay, if we're fighting, like we're doing something, we're being dramatic, and then they do it like way over the top. You know, you see that in a lot of low budget movies, and then they don't realize maybe not seeing the whole picture for what it is. You edit that together, you end up with 80 minutes of everybody fighting all the time, and
it's
it makes
too
for
dark.
this.
Yeah, but because of the way Kiyomi talks and the way that Sarah talks, and even you goofy bozo, that's so much.
That's great.
A worse movie they'd just be swearing at each other the whole time. You know what I mean, Charlie?
Yeah, and all the contradictions are just so pleasing. Like with Kiyomi, at first she says, "Get my bikini for me," like she wants to be waited on, and then it's like 30 seconds later, "Don't baby me, don't wait on me." I mean, maybe a real person would do that, but she is like all over. Everybody's all over the place, and like Sarah too. She seems very righteous, and she wants to not hurt animals and be pretty intelligent. And then she's like, "Let's steal it. Let's take this thing and sell it." The artifact. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Let's listen to that scene. In fact, they find an old Confederate flag. Should they keep it? Let's listen to what Sarah and Kiyomi have to say about it.
But Kiyomi, it might be worth a lot of money.
But it belongs to someone. You shouldn't take it.
If it belongs to anyone, it belongs to those dead soldiers out there. You think they're going to need the money?
Money? It means more than money to them. They died here. It should stay here with them. If any of us takes it, we'll all be guilty.
What?
Isn't it obvious? Why do you think the bells rang? They don't want us here. You can't take that. Whatever you found, you can't take pain from the dead.
There it is. There it is.
I love that quote.
Oh.
We're going to hear more. But
can you take a journal from them?
So
apparently not. Or a flag.
You can't take pain from the dead. Oh, let's hear the convoluted explanation of that phrase.
What are you talking about?
I know what she means. Our grandmother was in Hiroshima when the bomb was dropped. We saw her in Japan when we were kids, just before she died. She had leukemia from the radiation. I can't translate too well from the Japanese, but she told us that the dead had no use for anything they had in life, and that all their possessions, everything, belonged to the living. But you can't take their pain away. They're jealous of their pain.
You can take anything from the dead, but their pain.
All right, something was definitely lost in the translation from the Japanese, but
then just take the flag. I can't believe they hit the point home so much. Kiyomi says you can take anything from them. This old flag, sure.
No, so wait, the flag is their pain? What are you talking about?
Why? Yeah, like the thing is, if they had taken the flag instead of the journal, you think maybe then the whole plot wouldn't have happened, right? Because at least the journal actually contains like an explanation for their anguish and whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas the flag is like, it's just the flag. I mean, it's a symbol, obviously, but not. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it really symbolized their pain.
Yeah.
So confusing. Again, though, they've established from the beginning that they aren't gonna be successful in conveying things to us, and they're living up to it. So,
keeps you on your toes. Yeah.
Sarah's adamant that they should take the flag. She's very upset that everyone has sided with Kiyomi. She walks off to have a smoke. Then a cross-shaped headstone seems to move. She runs to the men and tells them about it. They don't believe her. They return to the spot where they decided to set up camp. Now it's nighttime. Sarah and her boyfriend tease Mel for holding his gun all night. Is he afraid or something? Kiyomi suggests that he hold her instead of the gun, which is fantastic.
Yeah, romantic.
They all encourage Mel to kiss Kiyomi. And then they comment on the kiss when it happens. Not bad for a beginner, says Sarah. So that's delightful. Then Sarah declares that she could never kill anything. And then, a bug is on her and she freaks out and kills it, I guess. Big laughs. Then they see some light flashes. They think they're fireworks and discuss whether they should find out who's there and party with them. But then I think they just all decide to go to bed. Is that right, Charlie?
Yeah, that sounds good. You know, one part that's funny here, I'll just comment quickly. It seems like there's multiple cuts to each group in like a 2-shot with their tent. So you see it, you see the outside of the tent.
Yeah.
And you see them talking, arguing. Cut to the next couple. Arguing in their tent. Cut to the next couple. Arguing at each other's throats in their tent. That goes on for a while.
Yes, and I love it.
Yep.
Now we have dark shots of zombies walking in the woods, coming out of their graves. It seems never-ending. Oh, my goodness. The movie just stops in its tracks. And, I already said it, but they think this is the best part of the movie, so we need to keep showing it. But I was bored out of my mind. Tom?
Yeah, I mean, you get the point after the first few. And, you see the leader guy is pretty well lit. And then you can see some of the underlings, but you don't need to see the entire regiment coming out of the ground.
Yeah, it's just so much.
Ridiculous.
Back at the camp, Kiyomi's sister and her guy are gossiping about Kiyomi and Mel. And just like Charlie said, it's a lot of back and forth from tent to tent. Let's listen to Sarah and her boyfriend. Who's Sarah's boyfriend?
Bill.
Okay. All together. All right, let's listen to Sarah and Bill in their tent talking right here.
Some adventure, huh?
Sarah's getting on my nerves.
I take it back. That's not Sarah. That's, what's her name? Kiyomi's sister?
Lynn.
Lynn and her guy.
Yeah. What about Kiyomi and Mel?
What about him? I can't tell her she's wasting her time. She's too stubborn. That's why I can't get her to do things for herself. She sits around and pouts until somebody offers to help. She plays on their pity.
All right, so that's a little sample of that. And turns out that's not even what I wanted to play for you. Sorry. Let's hear now. Now here's Sarah and Bill.
Look, let's just forget about sleeping doubles tonight. I really don't feel like it anyway.
What do you mean? We haven't done it all week.
Listen, I am tired of you grabbing at me every time I take my clothes off. I am a person too, you know.
Oh, God. Still on that kick, huh?
And another thing. You treated me like a child back in that graveyard. That cross did move by itself. I felt it.
If I can just get this zipper to work, I'll make the earth move under you again.
Well, that's all you think about.
Oh. Just the worst. Is that the worst humor in the history of humor? Oh, my God. All right, and now let's cut to Mel and Kiyomi in their tent. Just like Charlie said, just one tent to the next.
Again?
Uh-huh. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Then why don't you get in your sleeping bag and go to sleep?
I'm busy.
You just said you were doing nothing.
Why don't you get into your sleeping bag and go to sleep?
I can't sleep with the lights on.
Now, how did you know the light was on?
I didn't, but I do now. What are you doing?
Reading.
Read to me.
You wouldn't like it.
I love books. I read Braille, you know. Just let me hear some of it.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff.
Could go on forever.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that she delivers her lines are really good. Really good. She's not selling the blindness very well. It seems like she's not even trying to. Charlie?
No, and right after that, I enjoy Mel's accent. He takes on like this learned, kind of stately accent, sort of when he reads from the journal. It's quite nice.
So
for a while, I was like, I had to double check with Tom because I was like, wait, is this movie Australian? Because they sounded like they had some sort of Australian accent going on. And I was like, what?
Every once in a while.
It's Baltimore. Right? It's Maryland, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. He starts reading from the diary that he found at the cemetery. Kiyomi quickly realizes that he stole it from there. She's furious. She reminds him of the stolen motorcycle and the stolen ring. This guy's bad news. She tells a story of a dog that she had as a child. She got bad feelings about the dog and nothing happened. Later that day, the dog ran away and got hit by a car. She fears that her worries about Mel will come to fruition in a similar fashion. So we got that to deal with. She begs him to hold her. He agrees, only if she promises not to tell anyone about the book. It's a deal, and they awkwardly hug in the tent. What a great shot, huh, Tom?
There's so many great things about it. First, it's great that the tent has no door. First of all, it's just like a lean-to, so to make the shot easier, probably. But also, like the explanation of why no one else knows about the journal is because of this deal he made with her, that he will hold her and that she won't tell anybody about it. And like they're being killed by zombies and she still doesn't mention it because of this.
She's holding to it.
She keeps her promises, man.
It's so
blind
great.
Kiyomi may be blind, but she is someone who keeps her promises.
All right, so now a zombie reaches the campsite. They struggle with it and then seem to kill it. Is that with an exploding bullet, Charlie? I don't even know.
I think so, yes.
Okay. Oh, no, more zombies slowly approaching. The guys start shooting them in the head. Each direct hit results in exploding zombie head, which I didn't realize, but apparently that's due to Mel's unethical bullets, right? Right, Tom?
Yeah.
They light up.
They light up, yeah. It's meant to explode. But I do got to give them credit. Like most zombie movies, when the zombies attack, you just kind of freak out and try to fight back. But they analyze the situation and say, hey, this is a zombie army regiment. Those were probably the scouts. So we have to like trick the main unit and, so they don't know where we are. Like
the Zero Boys.
Pretty amazing.
Like the Zero Boys.
Like
these
the
guys
Zero
are
Boys,
ready.
Yeah. They right away they come up with a strategy based on the facts. It's pretty impressive.
All right, so they each directed. They light up a firework, I guess, to distract the zombies. I don't know what's going on there. Is that right, Charlie?
I think that is right. Yeah.
Now it's
a little distracting, but
they throw a bag of fireworks on the fire. Yeah.
Now it's the next day. Sarah whines, "Where's the camper? I want to go home." They're lost, and they're mad at Mel because it was his idea to take the new trail. They're fighting amongst themselves, which I guess they were doing prior to the situation. So it's status quo. Kiyomi,
not exactly low times, yeah. Not much has changed.
Kiyomi explains that it was obviously a bunch of zombies, but Bill refuses to believe it. If that's the case, who does Bill think he was killing last night is what I want to know. How can you possibly deny what's going on? I think even one of them, maybe we're going to hear it here. They discuss their plan. Sarah wants to bring a gun. Oh, and then someone says no. Listen to how this ends. This is so good.
Don't then, I don't care. Hey, let's get moving again. They've got scouts and we're in one place too long. It'll bring the rest of them down upon us, and fast.
Yeah, you're right. They'll be fighting like soldiers, waiting for us to be off guard. We should keep moving.
I want a gun, too.
No!
I want a gun
so
too.
Good.
No, and then it just cuts right to the music track. Oh.
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
the
good.
worst. Oh, the worst tactical decision too. Did they have an extra one in a bag that they're not going to let her use when they're in a life and death situation?
Just out of spite, yeah. And they'll be fighting like soldiers is great too, because it's just like this understanding of the enemy that they have no reason to have. You know, like he doesn't know that, but he speaks like such an expert. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Now they're walking again. When they encounter more zombies, they fight them off, keep on hiking. It's almost nighttime. Sarah whines about being tired and wanting to stop. Meanwhile, Kiyomi, she hasn't spoken all day. Kiyomi's sister asks Mel to talk to her. Mel announces he's going to see if they're being followed by a scout. Kiyomi's sister insists that Mel go over and talk to Kiyomi. He refuses. I'm not twisting her arm to be spending time with me, he says. You're twisting her heart. The sister retorts. That's a good soap opera moment. What is going on with Mel? Does he like Kiyomi? Tom?
I think he does, but I don't think he knows how to express himself really. But I think he likes her, and I think he likes the fact that she wants him to protect her. I think he likes that.
Yeah.
My question is, how old are we supposed to think these people are? Because like Mel looks like he's in his like late 20s, early 30s. Yeah. Kiyomi looks like she's 14.
She acts like she's 14, or she acts like she's 8.
But then Mel acts also like he's like a 15-year-old boy, and he just doesn't know how to handle his emotional feelings for a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's like a dream world a little bit. You know, the specifics you can't really stick with them at all. The way everything works, the way the police work, the way that the conclusions you jump to, all that stuff is just its own tonic of contradictions and bickering here that's just different from anything we're used to.
Let's speak. Go Eva.
Well, the guys are supposed to be old, like army buddies, right? That's how they know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't even realize that.
So they've already have been in the Marines, then got out of the Marines.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're supposed to be
25.
Yeah. It's a mess though. It's just a mess. I love how the policeman just appears. 2 police officers are just suddenly there. No explanation whatsoever.
Oh, it's so. In most movies, it would be a detriment because it takes you out of the people trapped in the woods, with no help on the way. But in this, it's just anything goes, and it's great. It doesn't matter because the you still aren't safe. Like you're not back in civilization with protection. Like. There's just police there. You're still in the.
And I love like sometimes when the zombies appear, it's like all the fun is gonna go away. You're like, oh, now it's just gonna be lame action until the end of the movie. But they have a little crescendo with that first attack. But then now the zombies are gone, and we get back to our characters. And if we're tired of our characters, we have this police officer who is so great. This is a long scene, but I need to hear it all. And so do you, everybody.
All right, son, you're covered. Put your gun on the ground and your hands in the air. You too, miss. Franklin? Okay, son, now you've got a lot of explaining to do, providing I feel like listening. And to tell you the truth, I ain't all ears at the moment.
Okay, wait, we need to just did he just contradict himself like 3 times in one sentence?
Yes.
All right, let's hear more.
He's clean, Hal. Okay, now, son, why don't you tell us why you're so jumpy?
Oh, shit. They're not gonna believe this.
Look, officers, we were attacked last night. Some men tried to kill us. We fought them off and ran, but got lost in the woods.
Men? How many?
30. Maybe 40. They've been tracking us all day. We killed 3 of their scouts this morning.
Killed?
You don't understand. They weren't even alive. Their faces were all rotten. You can't even stop them with a bullet. They...
Okay, I can see that you kids have had a bad scare, but that doesn't let you off, son. Not for 1 minute. I still got to take you in.
But what about those men that attacked? Don't you believe us at all?
Look, I don't know what to believe. It does seem to tie in. You see, the governor's got a little pet project up over that hill.
All right. Don't you love the governor's pet project, Charlie?
Oh, as if, there's not enough confusing things going on right now. The fact that they just throw in a whole new wrinkle here about a pet project, and I love that it's so far-fetched. It's delightful, and it's really sprucing things up at this point in the movie.
This cop.
I don't remember the pet project.
The cemetery and the church is the governor's pet project, like a restoration project, I assume.
And the zombies
I feel
are
like
mad.
that must have been so the policemen say this?
Yeah, he just references it a little bit offhand, just kind of like drops that in just to whet our appetites.
I totally missed it.
I don't think zombie resurrection is part of the pet project.
I have to admit,
Maybe.
I was very distracted whenever the policeman was talking, because to me he sounded just like your uncle, Farley, who's in your movies.
What a
like
compliment.
The police. Was it Wolf?
Yeah.
Detective Wolf.
Detective Wolf.
A legend.
Okay, I'm not going to ask if that means you lose focus every time he spoke in our movie that he started.
No, well, no, it was distracting in this one because I kept thinking it reminded me of your uncle, and I thought that was bizarre that it was like a police type, and your uncle's always playing the policeman type.
Let's listen to
movies.
let's listen to this guy a little more, because just the way he delivers his lines, and he's very like McHugh. He's very just casual and confident. Let's hear some more.
Church and graveyard. Last night, somebody broke into it, dug up all the graves, and made off with the bodies.
Sicko.
Really?
That's his assistant who yelled out "sicko." Oh, I love that. And it goes. You see the main officer in complete darkness, and it cuts to his partner saying "sicko" in complete light. Oh.
Twisted sicko.
But that's who attacked us.
That's what I'm saying. Any nut with so little respect for the dead ain't bound to have too much left for the living.
No, you don't understand. They were like walking dead men. They came out of the trees and just went berserk.
Come out of the trees, did they?
Mel, Liz. Is everything... Oh, God. Are we glad to see you guys?
All right, that's good stuff. Yeah. Just when the movie needs a little kick, we get it with this guy, Charlie.
I gotta ask a couple of things. Why does she say that they came out of the trees? Does that mean they just came out of the woods? Because no one really says that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It sounds like they descended like monkeys or something.
Didn't one of them fall
Maybe
come out of a tree? I feel like there was one scene where there was they were up in a tree and they kind of came down from into the tree to tackle.
It's so dark.
But it was it's hard to tell what's actually happening physically because you can barely see.
So dark.
So dark.
And did you? I don't know if are you gonna play the part where the cop gives his possibility of what was happening here, Farley?
No. You can talk to us. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this fantastic part where the sisters keeps explaining, and I love Lynn's tone here. She ends on this up note with each sentence. No, you don't understand.
Yeah, she's
it's just it's very charming,
and she's making sense.
Great.
Yeah, and then I think the officer says, there's people been swinging bodies out of trees with ropes like puppets, and that is such a great line. And it's not like he's saying it as if it's a far-fetched thing. He's just like, this is what these people do. They get dead bodies, tie ropes to the limbs, then they marionette them like puppets.
It even gives him the creeps. He says, and gotta tell the wife to quit using the Ouija board, he adds. And then, so good. He says, I'm glad I never took up undertaking like my daddy wanted.
Oh, that's so good. To say I never took up undertaking. It's just, there's so many sentences that are so written in the most confusing way.
What a nice touch, though, to mention that his dad wanted him to go into undertaking.
What a nice touch.
So
it makes
great.
you imagine a whole backstory that is distracting from the story.
It's so great.
So dumb.
But my favorite part of all this, right? You're supposed to be in the middle of nowhere. They're being attacked by these zombies, but at the same time, there is an active police presence that has investigated this graveyard just like a few minutes before and found all the bodies, and they're familiar with this area because people have already been being tormented by bodies hanging from trees previously in this area. It's so confusing. Like, why would you add those details to this movie? You would never should do that.
And there's no way that they could not have found the road all day. They're hiking all day. They couldn't find the road. It is like I think you can hear kids in the background playing in some of those shots. The cop brings them to his car on the road, which was nearby all along. He mentions that the guys are facing multiple charges for the guns and the exploding bullets. Okay, this is perhaps the best moment when he calls in.
Oh, yes.
To the dispatcher and mentions.
Thank heavens, Farley. Good job.
He mentions. Okay, the back and forth with the dispatcher is so great. The best moment, though, is when he says it's at Agony Ridge. And the dispatcher, Charlie, tell us what the dispatcher asks.
You go with it.
He says, why do they call it that? And then he goes, oh, I don't know. So let's listen. Oh, get ready for this, folks.
6 kids. Yeah. One of them's blind.
That was my favorite part.
Listen, send another car up for her. Yeah, fire trail above Agony Ridge. You know why they call it that? No, I don't know why they call it that.
Oh, that's amazing. Never in dispatch history has anyone done something like that.
And try like clearly the cop didn't give enough time when he was filming his side. That they had to squeeze the dispatcher's responses so tightly. Let's hear more of this.
Yeah? Got a trigger-happy city kid here, too. Oh, boy. I'll bring him in later. I want to talk to them. Yeah. Right? Okay.
Okay, why does it, like, a girl, too, and she's blonde? What does that have to do with anything, Charlie?
Oh, there's so much confusion there. It's really charming.
Well, I like that they have to order a second car for Kiyomi. Yeah. Like, why did the blind girl get relegated?
I thought he said I thought he said blonde. I thought he was referring to the
car. Another car. It's so weird. It's so inappropriate and dated, but and confusing. And like you said, imagining the backstory. They didn't film enough cutaways. If they had filmed a little bit of cutaways, right, talking on the radio, cut to Mel, like looking like, what's this policeman doing? Or cut to Kiyomi, like, you know, they don't really have anything to cut to. They just have this too tightly dictated thing that they didn't pace out.
You don't even need the dispatcher's voice like that. You don't need it. Oh, you can just have the one-way conversation, you know. They had to fit it in.
I gotta play it one more. The Agony Ridge thing, just so in case the listeners didn't hear it, just listen up here.
Yeah. Listen, send another car up for her. Yeah, fire trail above Agony Ridge. You know why they call it that? No, I don't know why they call it that.
What a great little thing.
Oh, that's great, man.
Was it in the script, or did the cop just like ad-lib that, and then the director's like, oh God, now we gotta explain why that. There's so many questions. Oh, Agony Ridge. Wow.
I think maybe a next movie could have a quick Agony Ridge
reference
callback or something. Yeah.
I did not remember Agony Ridge. This time through was the first time I noticed it. You guys too?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, love it. All right.
Really, I mean, I knew it was good, but you're pointing it out now has made it way better.
Yeah. You know why they call that? So fast.
No, I don't know why they call it that.
The whole dispatcher, I mean, the whole thing. It's just the detail. All of it was just. It's just amazing, and it's so weird because like, there's no need to spend this amount of time on the policeman, except that clearly they had like paid the actor, you know, like so they were really like milking his, you know, what should have been like a 5-minute scene, and then it becomes this 10-minute ordeal.
Yeah, and thank God. Thank God.
It's great.
Okay.
It's like otherworldly. Yes.
Zombie attacks the other officer from behind. Oh, no. Now, the main cop explains to the campers that he just thinks it's a prank from the garden variety psychopath as we cut back to his partner being attacked. The partner miraculously makes it to the police car where the main cop gives guns to the campers who explain that only headshots will kill these zombies. Zombies are coming from all directions. The police officer's killed. One of the guys tells Mel not to shoot near the car. So Mel, he's got major problems. He immediately does that. You can't tell Mel what to do. And of course the car instantly explodes too. We get shot. Charlie.
In one of the few Don Dohler tie-ins, the guy who did the effects of the car exploding, at least the way it's credited, also worked on Night Beast by Don Dohler.
Nice.
Interesting.
Good Maryland ties. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
And it's a miniature. It's pretty funny too. I guess I should point this out. It's like, all of a sudden it's it's hilarious, a little distracting. You see this miniature with the flames on it, and they wanted to have something explode there, and they're gonna figure a way to ham-fist it in and try to pull it off, and it's fun. It's
I
good.
fell for it. I didn't know it was a miniature.
Oh.
We get shots of zombies eating the cop's intestines. It looks like one of the main guys is dead at this point. Is that true? And which one?
Yes, Bill.
Bill.
All right, Bill. One of the other two guys.
This scene, I have to just say,
the extended
I had to
zombie.
cover my ears and hum, so I could not listen to the eating of intestines. Because it goes on
3 minutes
for a long time.
I counted it 3 minutes, but it feels like way more than that, Charlie.
One thing I want to say, riffing off what you guys were just talking about, the deaths of the main characters are perhaps the most unceremonious I've ever seen. So much so that I have to be like, oh yeah, who's still alive again?
Yeah.
They die as if they're extras.
Yes.
In a movie where everything's over the top except the deaths of the main characters. And then one other question I had here. Did you guys notice the one zombie who, for some reason, he kind of looks like he's an alien or from another planet? I don't know why they made that decision. It almost makes you more confused because they're just supposed to be your typical soldiers. I think
but he has like a bizarrely
he looks like a sci-fi movie guy. Yeah. I think maybe they were just getting excited to play with the zombie makeup, and they kind of, went over the top. But yeah, this from here on, I start to get confused all the time about who's still alive and who's dead.
Yeah. And before we move on, we should really hammer home the point that it's 3 full minutes of a 90-minute movie that is just zombies chewing on intestines. Ava.
I just
she almost threw up.
I did. I was so disgusted.
Yeah, and the music goes away, and it's just the chewing. Like, chewing sounds bad anyway,
Yes.
And I guess they were like, they were happy again to have the effects. I guess, But
the motivation of the zombies is kind of funny here because I guess they do have the cannibal name, but they really want their book back.
I know.
Or the thing. They don't have to eat.
It's finally their leader who steps in and is like, all right, guys, let's
Enough
get the
munching.
book.
Got this stuff.
I mean, he doesn't
what
say
are we
that.
doing here?
He doesn't say that, but you can tell he's a bit exasperated.
Yeah, the leader is nice. He is like a conductor up there, with his gesticulating and his gravitas and stuff. I enjoyed him.
The campers now discuss their game plan. Kiyomi wants to go with Mel, of course. He resists. She says, Mel, please, I only feel safe with you. And he lets her go. Back to more zombies eating. Just what we want. After 3 full minutes, we have a brief scene and then more of it. But anyway, the leader of the zombies, like we say, directs the others to quit feasting and resume their mission. Kiyomi gets attacked, but Mel shoots the zombie in the head. One of the guys has been shot in the chest, I think. I think Mel did it accidentally. Is that what happened?
Mel shoots Wyatt accidentally.
In the shoulder.
In the shoulder.
In the shoulder. Okay, good. Now they've gotten inside some kind of big old Gothic building, I guess. Right, Tom?
I think it's just a house. They say there's a house over here that's abandoned. The owners are dead.
Okay.
So it's not really abandoned.
Explain it away real quick. The wounded guy mentions it's Wyatt, I guess. Wyatt mentions to Mel that it seems like a vendetta. What could it be? Mel says, "Never mind, just shoot." And it's at this moment that Kiyomi finally speaks up. Finally. And great news. We're going to listen to what she has to say.
It's the diary.
What?
It's all written down. Everything that was done to them.
Everything that was done to whom?
The soldiers. They were tortured. The captain wrote it all down.
I don't understand.
Mel stole it. It's the captain's diary. The Union soldiers tortured his men. The captain wrote it all down. All their pain. And Mel took it.
Mel?
Mel stole it.
Who's Mel?
Okay.
Oh,
Mel.
so much double talk. Well, our intelligence is so insulted that it becomes magic.
And the music is just so. Like,
How at this point in this movie do they have that lounge, like shopping at, in the 1970s supermarket music? Oh my God.
So it
It's
turns
so
out
good.
Mel
God.
stole their pain.
It is like a sitcom for a second, though, when Mel makes that kind of funny face, sort of, and he doesn't want to tell about the diary. In a episode of Full House, someone wouldn't tell that, like, actually, this puppy is the neighbor's puppy, and they, traded for the day.
But
It's
more
just
is at stake in this situation.
And the framing of this scene is a little weird too, isn't it? Because Mel and Wyatt are in a separate area, or are they in the same room? I couldn't figure that out.
They're upstairs.
They're upstairs. Okay, so they are because Wyatt figures it out without hearing Kiyomi,
Yeah.
right?
He just senses it.
He just like magically figures it out, because then the next thing we know, he's reading
in.
from the diary.
I
Yeah.
just wanted.
And
to
then
end.
Lynn reads from the diary.
They're just all reading and like in this key.
There's like a lot of reading from this diary.
In the key action moments, yeah. All right, so Wyatt and Kiyomi's sister, what's Kiyomi's sister name again? Lynn. Discuss how they should just return the diary. Mel insists that they can't back down. Come on, Mel. They just need to keep killing the zombies. He's a bad egg, this guy. Sarah is killed. Possibly Kiyomi too. Is what happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both attacked together. Why? There's like the weirdest lack of intent, like organization here, or sense of urgency. Like the house is all under attack, but it just kind of feels like, okay, you guys are hanging out upstairs,
taking turn readings. Yeah.
Yeah, you two hang out separately, just just to
no
be
reason.
Like bait. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but it's very disorganized. And I did like that when they read in the book, they mentioned a voodoo backstory involving the Caribbean.
Oh, nice. Good.
Zombie tie-in, yeah.
The guy with the Wyatt. I always call him the guy with the wound in my notes. Wyatt holds up the book and presents it to the zombies. They accept it with an understanding nod of the head. It's a good moment. The zombies retreat. They have what they came for, and the movie ends with another terribly dubbed line. Let's hear that. I messed up. Sorry, team. Let's try that one more time.
Wyatt, are you alright?
That was it. Wyatt, are you all right?
Okay, I just want to say though that when Wyatt finally delivers the diary to the Confederate soldiers, he first waits until they kill Mel.
Yeah.
Before he actually, like, he's holding the diary. Mel is standing right next to him. They attack Mel, and instead of like trying to intervene and stop this, because they're like choking the life out of Mel, he like waits for them to finish and then hands over the diary.
Good move by Wyatt. Mel has been a big jerk from day one. He caused this whole situation, and Wyatt's like, you know what? I'm gonna wait an extra minute. So, but I'll tell you, I was not paying. I was like, I don't. Usually, the climax of a horror movie is the worst part, and this is, they did the best they could, but I'm just like, all right, just end it, end it.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, yes, there's a 3-minute chomping scene that's just insufferable. Every time the zombies are on the screen, I'm bored out of my mind. And yet, this movie is so good. When it's good, it is real good. That's why there are so many quotes that we just had to play. And again, when it had no right staying as interesting as it did, as late as it did. Usually, movies like this run out of steam. And just when this one seemed to run out of steam, we get that police officer who brings us right back in it. And that talk with the dispatcher, that was enough to get me through the end. What a movie. Curse of the Screaming Dead, superb. Let's get some reviews. Tom Scalzo.
Yeah, I what you just said about the pacing is just, most movies, once they commit to the zombie attack, they just find a way to keep that going. But this movie just decides, we need to just stop that for a while and get back to the characters and forget that any of the zombie attacking is happening. Like, zombies generally don't like
retreat,
stop and like regroup, but they just,
these are
Confederate
zombies. That's the difference. Yeah,
these are Confederate. I guess they go back and talk about things and give our. Yeah, they hear that makes it good. That because like you said, all you want is to be with these people,
right?
More.
Ava, your thoughts on this film? Was this your first time watching
This is my first time watching it. I think that it's very strange because this group of characters is oddly compelling. Like, a lot of times when you have these groups of like mismatched people with different opinions or whatever, like, the bickering gets old really fast and you're like just dying for the characters to just die already. And I think the only person I kind of felt that way about was Mel, because he really was annoying, but like the rest, I was like kind of sad when Bill died, and he's so unceremoniously too, because I don't actually remember his death scene. I know he's dead because I could see that he was getting his intestines eaten out, but how he died is still a mystery to me.
No one knows.
And I, Kiyomi is kind of whining and annoying, but she's an interesting character.
Yes.
And their death scene is also again, just such a quick, and because Sarah and her die at the same time. It's kind of an unceremonious, quick death. No one sort of it's fascinating because none of these people mourn the deaths at all. Sarah's boyfriend dies. She doesn't mourn it. She just goes to the house. But it's very interesting to see these relationships sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great characters.
The movie.
Yeah,
it kept me interested.
Totally.
More than the zombie parts I found very boring. Like you. I just,
Yeah.
And I didn't think the effects were all, the fireworks effect when they throw the bag of fireworks into the thing, and then they were trying to go for the fireworks exploding and then blowing up the zombie heads, but that whole thing did not work.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, your review.
Yeah, I'm confused by the fireworks, and I put in my notes, was it supposed to be sometimes ghost bullets too? Because there are times when no one's lighting off fireworks, and there's also the lights that they see in the woods. And I wasn't sure if around the zombies there were the remnants of the old muzzle flashes or something. But my quick review, the rural feel is this is the tops, one of the top movies for rural feel. If you want to see the, real people trying to make a movie at this time with the woods, with, they had an RV, they had an abandoned house, and they had, a ragtag group of people, and they did it. So it's priceless for that. The pacing of how they talk and the contradictory way they talk is just unexpected gold. You won't see anyone say it, or in your own life or in other movies hear someone talk that way, to use the weird intonations and so slow. I mean, it's almost avant-garde how slow some of these conversations are. And they think of some ways to say the same thing 3 or 4 times. And as the audience member, I'm like minutes ahead of this movie. Like, he stole the book? Who, Kiyomi? Mel.
Who?
Mel stole the book?
Yes,
Mel. The book was stolen by Mel. It's the journal. It holds their pain.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so that you're minutes ahead of the movie, but you're also, you got to keep listening because you don't know if they're going to say something completely off the wall. You get a gem like Agony Ridge if you're not paying close attention. So it's very unexpected. There's a lot of things that are unexpected in this movie. Funny phrasings, unexpected that the deaths would be so unceremonious, unexpected that the cops would show up. You don't know what's going to happen next, and because it's rural and it's low budget and anything goes.
Shock memories. I mean, Kiyomi is really all we remembered from this movie. She became like an icon to us. Like, we talk about Kiyomi every time I talk to either one of you. Kiyomi comes up. Look at this illustration in our book that our what's his name? Ollie does all these pictures for us.
Ollie
right?
did this, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. You can buy our book. Which one is that, Charlie? Shock.
January,
just for the picture of Kiyomi. Oh my goodness. So I mean, seriously, we talk about her all the time. She's so memorable. But this time through, the other one stood out a little bit more, and it is well developed. It really, like, each character, for the most, I know the two guys, Wyatt and Bill, kind of interchangeable, but if you get Kiyomi is Mount Rushmore, but then Sarah is really memorable. Really, her delivery is amazing. I mean, in any other movie, Sarah would be number 1. Yes, Charlie.
Oh yeah, I remembered. I like the hunting even less than the drinking.
I love the way.
And
she
I kind of
delivers that line.
use slight twists on that in my daily speak. You could just substitute whatever. Sometimes I'll go for the original, and sometimes I'll mix it up a little bit. But when you're ready, call on me because I've got some callbacks to what happened. Yeah.
All right. Any more shock memories, Tom?
No, I didn't remember all the slow moments of the chewing and stuff like that, but I remember all the bickering, not the zombie stuff so much. But it was nice to see even the zombie stuff. It wasn't that bad in terms of the effects. I thought it was a lot worse in my memory, but I mean some of it was all right, like the coming out of the ground, even though it was dark, but it was really not that bad.
Yeah, they did a pretty darn good job, but I just personally don't care. I don't care, it's not that it was bad looking, it's just a little dull, but for me. And then it's what year is it? What year was it released?
1982.
82. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, it's prime early 80s horror, and it has a little bit of a 70s, especially in the music, 70s vibe still. Charlie,
do you guys remember what we did when the movie was over and we watched the credits roll?
We called.
Oh yes, we called up the sporting goods company that supplied the equipment for the movie in Stevenson, Maryland. The camping gear was courtesy of them, so they had their phone number, which was a gem thing of them to do, and we called them up. It didn't work.
No, it was out of order.
But if we had gotten them on the phone, imagine if they
just wanted to tell you, great work. The tents looked fantastic, and yeah.
Yep, and in the credits they also thanked the gang at Woodstock Lodge, which I guess is like the local tavern, and that made me really want to go there.
Oh, yeah. Road
and it makes me think of the tavern scene in Alien Factor with Atlantis playing.
Yeah, a lot of wood paneling in that place.
Yeah, well, Christopher Gummer, he's in Alien Factor, so
That's true.
All right, well, let's wrap this up with some awards. Charlie, this one swept.
Oh, This was a big deal for us.
Let's hear it.
This movie won Best Picture of Shock June.
How about
Best
that?
Actress.
Kiyomi. Blind Kiyomi.
Best Ensemble Cast.
Wow.
For the ensemble. Nominated Lon Huber for Best Screenplay. And nominated, I don't know why we did this, the best monster was the Confederate Zombie Army.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know why we did that,
were low
but
on monsters.
that was our least favorite part this time around by far. We must have been grasping at straws with more monsters.
The general, like as a.
I like the general. Yeah.
His pointing.
I like the general.
Yeah, the general.
Okay, the general. Yeah, it's true.
Who beat him out for best screenplay? Because the screenplay, they put they thought a little bit of time into it.
Yep. I will. Do you know, Tom? Offhand? Or probably not, right?
Do you know offhand what won best screenplay for Shock June?
Well, I will, while I'm flipping the pages, a little funny quick story from the other thing. When it was over, Tom and I wanted popcorn, and Farley decreed that making popcorn is an operation, so we weren't allowed to do it, and we had to start Bloodstalkers right away.
Look, every Shock Marathon needs a taskmaster, and
wow,
and that was me.
Wow.
Okay.
Bloodstalkers followed it, and this still won best ensemble.
What a 1-2
punch.
What
what a moment in our lives, and I mean in history as a whole. Okay, best screenplay. The nominations were Curse of the Screaming Dead, Christmas Evil, The Redeemer, Blood Cult, and Memorial Valley Massacre. And the winner,
Memorial Valley, I bet. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It deserves it.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, The Redeemer. Best screenplay. That's bold nomination by us.
Bold.
Yeah, that was dumb. What were we thinking? All right. Well, hey, great movie. Check it out. It's free on YouTube and legally posted there by Troma. So check it out just to hang out with Kiyomi and Sarah and the Agony Ridge. We missed Agony Ridge the first time. Tom, did you notice it this time, and had you noticed it before?
I noticed it this time because after it was over, I looked it up to see if it was a real place.
And
it is not. But
that one line, it turns like a 4-star movie into a 5-star movie.
It's huge. It's huge.
You know why they call it that? No, I don't. Anyway, he's calling in like I guess no one had died yet, but wow.
Yeah.
What a moment.
Get that separate car because there's the blind girl.
The blind girl. She can't possibly sit with her friends.
Can't ride with the other one. It's so ridiculous.
All right. For Ava and Tom and Charlie, this is Farley saying we'll see you next month.